bringing communities together around the world.
You are literally one decision away from making your life better. You're literally one step away from taking that massive action to chase your dreams and your goals. And as crazy as it sounds and as risky as it is, it will be worth it at the end of the day. Trust me. And remember when you were in school and you were told, go to school, get good grades, go to college, go to uni, get that dream job and go work. And hopefully you keep improving and you level up in your ranks and you get promoted and that's your career. That's the choice. That is all you have. But what if that is not entirely true? Now, don't get me wrong. Education is great. I went to school as well. I was in uni. But what if you have great dreams, goals, you want to build and create that, but you are still operating from fear? That's fine, as long as you have that belief, because belief comes first. Hi everyone, my name is Esmond and welcome to the Singapore Forward podcast on the Singapore Community Radio. Today we have an incredible guest. Think of Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates when they started from their school dorm or from the garage. It's the same unbelievable story. Today, our next guest is a huge entrepreneur. He is a CEO. He runs a email marketing agency, a data-driven email marketing agency. He has grossed more than 14 million in revenue and has more than 40 full-time employees around the world. Everyone, Joshua Chin, my man. How are you doing?
What's good, Esmond? Thank you for having me.
I'm good, man.
Just correction, we don't actually have 14 mil in revenue.
14 million? No, more than that.
So it's over 15, 20 mil in trackable revenue generated for clients.
Wow.
For clients.
Okay.
Not for us, but it'd be nice, right?
How long did you take to hit that?
It took us 3 years, close to 3 years. We have been in operations for two and a half, close to 3 years now.
Nice.
It was definitely an interesting journey. It was a climb. I mean, in respect of the theme of this podcast, taking that step is definitely a great decision, but understanding what comes after that step is also very, very important.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to talk today. We're going to get real. So before we touch on all those things, where did this actually start? You were in NUS, right? You were studying there.
I was in NUS.
So what sparked the interest to actually start a business?
All right, so let's get into it. Okay. 2.5 years ago, way before that actually, when I was in my year one of NUS, that was when I realized that I wanted to try making money online, because I've seen so many ads online you can make money online.
You keep getting targeted.
That. Yeah, I keep getting targeted by all these ads, and I realized that I had nothing to lose. I had a lot of time, but the only thing I didn't have was money. I didn't have capital, so I had to give something a shot. But I knew that I couldn't afford to spend a lot of capital on things that required some upfront investment. My initial business venture was actually on eBay. I was selling stuff on eBay. It was something called drop shipping. Really, it was retail arbitrage. I was buying stuff on a discount on random retail websites like Walmart.com, Amazon, and then relisting them on eBay, selling them off the usual retail price. By doing that, I made my first 4 figures online.
Sweet. And you were like, wow.
Yeah,
there must have been a lot of money, right, to you?
There was a lot of money back then. That was a period of time when I had to borrow money to make, really to borrow money to eat, essentially. Really, I had like that moment when I had less than $20 in my bank account, and POSB had that $20 limit.
Yes.
Below that, you can't
I've been
withdraw.
there, bro.
I've been there so many times. So many times it's embarrassing, and I had to borrow money from my friends I have money. It's all in the bank. I mean, I can't withdraw it because it's under $20. I had to borrow money to buy food and stuff. It's not a good feeling, and my parents were not well-to-do. My family's in Malaysia. They went through some financial difficulties when I was a kid. I haven't bounced back from that. So I was pretty much, I was blessed in a way where my school fees were paid for. I had a scholarship. Always thankful for that.
Have you always done well in school? Because before you went to uni, you were in Victoria Junior College, right?
Yep, Victoria Junior College, VJ.
Nice.
Before that, I was in Victoria School. So I came to Singapore when I was 13 years old. Went through the whole education system. I did relatively well. I think I was a book smart kind of a kid, and I managed to find my way through the system and rose above, I guess, the general, the average, and made it to NUS. And I kind of felt that that's kind of boring. And if I continue on that same path, I'll end up in a job that I probably hate. Initially, I was thinking, if I'm going to hate my job, I might as well do it in a way that I'm going to make the most money. So I thought about investment banking. That was my first thought. Investment banking, I had some interest in stock trading. I thought that was what investment banking is all about, but it wasn't.
You're gonna make tons of money. You were
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm smart. I
Lots
look
of money.
good.
I'm going to
Let me
hate
just
my
go
life,
do that. Yeah.
sell my soul for the banks. And back then, I didn't realize that ministers make so much money. Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
if only I knew. But anyways, I'm Malaysian. So
Then you would
it'd
have
be
become a minister. You were the first Malaysian minister to
first
become
Malaysian
a
minister in
Singaporean
Singapore.
minister here.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Right? Make it
Maybe.
impossible possible. But yeah, that was my start. And after making that first 4 figures online, I realized that wait, this is possible. There is, it's not just a sham. It's not a joke. It's actually doable. The only issue is whether or not I can make this a full-time thing. Can I turn this into a full-time career, making money online?
Sure.
And at the same time, I had the option to decide for myself that I'm swinging away from that usual path already. And now I had the choice. I tasted the sweetness of taking the road less traveled, and I realized if I'm gonna do that, I might as well choose something that I'm proud of and something that I enjoy doing. So I decided that drop shipping is not for me. I enjoyed the process of making money, but not really the process of doing it. Being online all the time and on my laptop, it's not fun.
Same.
It's very dull, and there's no human interaction. I needed that human connection. So
Sure.
and even then, I took the money then. It wasn't a lot, and I reinvested it into courses online,
Okay.
teaching myself things like copywriting, digital marketing. And I fell in love with copywriting, and I fell in love with the e-commerce community. That's when I discovered email marketing as a marketing channel that I could really invest my time and skill sets in and develop myself into a copywriter / email marketer that was good at specifically e-commerce industries that was booming at the point in time. And I had somewhat of a foresight that this industry is going to be growing. It's going to be a good opportunity for me to be in this space in some shape or form.
Yep.
And I knew that I didn't have any money to start an e-commerce brand from scratch. So I decided to do a service-based business. It wasn't even an agency back then. It was just me as a consultant. I was going through really just Facebook groups, hustling people, asking business owners if they needed help with
Trying to
email
add
marketing.
value to all the people around the platform in the
Exactly.
community, and then saying if you can get something like a sideline kind of job, like while in school as well.
Yeah.
Like so, like at night you are like doing some work for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Precisely
get it.
that.
Totally.
Yeah. So eventually I got my first paying client, and I was like, that's market validation. I mean, people in the tech space talk about going through MVPs, market validation. I think the best form of market validation is when someone hands you cash.
Yep.
That is the best form of validation already.
Because
for
they
your
see the
idea.
value,
That's
they
the value.
trust, and they want to work with you.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I realized that this is a viable idea. I went harder on it. And I got a couple more clients. Eventually, I hit 6 clients, and I realized that this is beyond what I could do on my own. Because at that point in time, it's just myself, and I was also interning full time.
Yep.
And it was very hectic. Waking up at 5 a.m., starting work immediately, and then sleeping at 11, ending work at 11, and sleeping at 11, and repeating the whole process. My relationships got damaged.
What did you do? Yeah, I know. We're gonna come to that, man. We're gonna come to all of those challenges and struggles. So
Alright.
there might be students right now, whether they are in JC or university,
Yeah.
and they either are already doing what you're doing, what we used to do, or they're intending to do it. So
Yep.
when you were going through all this, as much as it's great, right? It's fantastic. You got 6 clients now paying you, and you're starting to want to transit to like having a legitimate business, but on the other hand, your sleep is compromised, you have school, you have internship, you are in a relationship. These were all your challenges. How did you actually prioritize each of it, or have some introspective time for yourself? Because there's so much going on. It's also stressful. What do you do?
I think the short answer is I didn't really have much time to myself. And it was a conscious decision that I knew that if I wanted this to work out, then it was
Sacrifices.
it's just a conscious sacrifice that I have to make on social time, on even going out for lunch. I didn't go out for lunch for a long time. During my internship, I just stayed in and I kind of I
Grinding.
yeah.
Keep
I got
going
takeout food, tap out, and then came
Yeah.
back to the office, just continue working on my business, and that was my life for a period of time. And then I realized that I can do it on my own. It was way too tough, and I didn't have the experience prior to that to back me up on knowing what the pitfalls are. So I called up my friend Lewis. He is my current co-founder. At that point in time, I called him up and I said, "Yo, I have this business idea. I think it's working. People are paying me money. It's not MLM. It's a legitimate value-adding business that I think could really do something.
Yeah.
Do you want to join me on this? I can't pay you anything. I'm inviting you to be a co-founder. Do you want to give it a shot? There's nothing to lose." I was like, "Yeah, why not? Just do it. Just give it a shot." And so we hired our first employee in October 2017, and that was pretty much history. And because we focus on just that one thing since the start, it allowed us to scale relatively quickly. We hired pretty much the same types of employees, scaled internal operations in the same way, and scaled customer acquisition in the same vertical.
Because
And
you had focus, right? In what you're doing, and I get
only
what you mean.
e-commerce, direct-to-consumer brands, only within a certain revenue range, SMEs only, and we only work on email marketing as the only marketing channel. So it allows us to scale relatively quickly, and today we have close to 60 staff.
Damn, that's a lot,
including
man.
ourselves.
It's more than me. Well, you gotta make me feel this way.
I don't think it's a fair comparison. I use that
Yeah.
as a gauge because it's the most common gauge to think about what growth looks like. But
Yeah.
really, that's not the case. I mean,
That's true.
the most realistic way of looking at growth would be profits, right?
Yeah.
If you're a traditional kind of a business where you
Profits, brand elevation, all of these
Yeah.
other things as well.
But I think looking at employee scale is kind of a proxy to that. And the reason why we have so many employees is because we invest a lot of manpower and resources into each account, and it's necessary for email marketing because we work on the creatives, the copywriting.
There's a lot that goes into it, right?
A lot of time that goes into it, and it's precisely that reason why we are able to add value to e-commerce brands, because most of the time they have a small team at the startup stage or the growing stage. They don't have the resources, the know-how, or the time to do it. Having it outsourced to an agency who is specialized in just doing that one thing is very helpful, and it's much more profitable than trying to do it themselves. And that's what's been happening for us for the past 2.5
So
years.
what were your major struggles? Like, it doesn't have to be in business, like even for relationships, making time for friends. Was there a time you felt depressed, you felt down?
Yeah, I think this is very interesting. Every podcast I go to, I give a different answer to this question.
So what's the answer here?
All right, the answer here, I'll give something different. I think everybody has a unique journey and a different path to take, and it's not fair to think about, oh, this person's struggle is so small and mine is so big, and therefore I'm a failure. Or even like, this person is growing so quickly, this business is growing so quickly in the same vertical or the same industry, and I'm only doing this much after so long. It's not fair to think about it that way, because you're running
everyone, it's like
your own
comparing.
race.
I think there's this phrase, right? It goes something like, you cannot compare the chapter of the book that you're in, because someone might be at chapter 12 and you're at chapter 1.
And you might
But
not
your
even
journey-
be in the same book.
Exactly. And it might not even be the same book. Like, it's a different journey, totally different journey.
Precisely.
And it's not like a fixed destination where this is where you're going to reach because this other person is here at this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So that was actually one of my biggest struggles, and that was a very recent realization. And I was looking at my competitors, and at every stage of our growth, from 0 to to 10 employees to 5 figures a month to 6 figures a month and 6 figures a month to beyond. It's at every stage, there's always someone else to compare upwards to, and then we kind of forget about the ones that we surpassed. And we have been really hard on ourselves, and I have been very hard on myself for that. So I've always been comparing myself upwards to people who are ahead of me. Like a competitor agency just sold to a bigger agency for multiple 8 figures, and they have only been around for less than 10 years. And another company's another competitor's founder is on the Forbes 30 under 30 list, and it's a lot of things to think about that you can definitely there's no end to that. Comparing upwards,
because it's constantly growing, right? Constantly creating more milestones, more goals, and constantly attaining it, and then creating new ones. Or else you stagnate.
Yeah, that's true. But the side effect of that is in understanding that although you're setting higher and higher goals, you should be grateful and conscious and mindful about where you're at today and how hard you've worked to get to where you are, because it's not fair to shortchange yourself for the journey that came before, for the journey that's about to come. And it's like that idea of, so I struggle with this a lot. The conversation that I have in my mind with myself, and I try to be mindful about this, is I'm so young, I don't have track record, I have never worked in any other companies, no corporate experience, nothing to back me up other than just this business that I have miraculously grown to this thus far. So that inferiority syndrome, that imposter syndrome is always there, nagging at me. But I realized after speaking to a lot of my mentors and peers in the industry, even competitors, I realized that it doesn't go away. Even agencies that are doing, they're way bigger than us. So in the same market, companies that are of a different industry, like at 100 million revenue and way above that, they're also facing the same thing. The founders always face that feeling of, I'm not good enough.
Yeah, which is why it always comes back many times to the purpose of the company. What is your vision? Because every company, like you cannot compare a real estate development company to maybe a small cafe business.
Yeah.
The cafe business owner he or she has their own goals, their own vision, why they wanted to create it, and the expectation, the pragmatic expectation.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the real estate development is the projects itself. It's multi-millions, right? So naturally, you're gonna have more revenue, more profit, more projects. It's different, totally different landscape.
That's the practical side of comparison. Like a cafe will never match up to a real estate development company. But there's also the side of comparing or really being aware of your own purpose and your own why is much more impactful, and understanding that this is my why, this is my journey, and I'm taking my own path to get to where I want to be. Sure. Not someone else's why, not someone else's goals. Yeah. Because they might be setting a different goal, a different target that's of a different nature. And for that reason, they might be taking a different path that sets them on a
because it's not like that, right? It's just all over the place, but it's still growth, and then
exactly.
It's not like it's gonna go this way. Like when we were a child, that's why we think that it's gonna just be this way, and it's only up. And then if it goes down, it's down. But there's a whole other. It's like a roller coaster.
Exactly.
Technically.
And I was just watching this Netflix show yesterday. It's called "I Am Not Okay with This." It's just a story of this 17-year-old girl who is angry that her father died, and that her best friend is getting attached, and just random stupid stuff. And one added element is that she's discovering that she has superpowers. But the fundamental nature of that storyline is that she feels that it shouldn't be happening to her. And I feel that that's a narrative that's happening to a lot of people our age, and just people in general in our circles, that this shouldn't happen to me, or this is so bad, why is it happening to me? It's that sense of entitlement that this is not, I don't deserve this, or I deserve better. That is so cocky, firstly, and secondly, so arrogant to think about that the world is perfect, that it's always going to be
and you deserve everything. You deserve the best.
The best.
Yep.
And it goes both ways, because on one hand, you might think, I deserve better, but the more prominent one, I think, in our social circles is, I don't deserve to be treated this way. I don't deserve to face this problem. The world doesn't give a fuck, man. No one gives a fuck. That's a reality. I think I've come to terms with that because there's so many downhill slopes that you don't foresee, that when it hits you, it becomes it's much more painful when you don't expect it. But when it hits you, then the first reaction is often most telling of your character and what your tendencies are. And I'm pretty mindful of this. And every time, I'm also sort of like I have that mentality as well. Every time something bad happens to me, I'll be like, oh, why is this happening to me? And that's the most fucked up thing to say, because it can happen to anyone, and it's not you. It's really not you. Like, it's not me. It's just happening. It's not happening to me. It's just happening. And when you can get around when you get your mind around this idea, it becomes very freeing.
What do you think someone can do when they actually catch themselves feeling this way constantly? Like right now, they watch it, they're like, "Oh wait, that's me." They know that they start to realize it, or they are constantly realizing. What can they? Is there some steps you think that they can do, mindset or anything, to break free from that pattern?
Yeah, I like that question. I'm pretty lucky because I have a co-founder. So and we live together in the same apartment.
Yeah, been there, great place.
So it's very easy for me to bounce ideas off him, and I can bounce ideas off my girlfriend. And often it's not about finding someone who is more experienced or more senior than you to give you ideas. It's really just about having another individual, another person to be there as a soundboard, to reflect your ideas off back to you.
Different perspectives, different angles.
Not necessarily a different perspective, but someone to ask you questions like
why, what motivated you to think of that or want that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do you feel this way? Why do you? And as you go through that process, you become a little bit more self-aware that, oh, I'm having these thoughts, that it should not happen to me, but it's just happening. And the more productive way, the high utility thought process is, given that this is happening, what are what are the truths? What are the set of truths that I can rely on to make actionable decisions? Or if there's nothing I can do, then there's nothing I can do. And I need to accept that.
I get what you mean. So you're saying basically, if that the individual becomes aware that they are constantly feeling that way, then create like that, which you just mentioned. If that's the truth to them, then create a plan or something that would make them become more aware and detour. But if they realize that it's not gonna work, then they just have to live up with the fact that they cannot change it. This is what's happening. We cannot change the situation easily, but we can change the way we deal with it during that moment.
You're right. You're right. That's definitely one of the approaches that people can take.
What are your thoughts on positivity and mindset?
Positivity.
Being positive. I mean, there are some, not just entrepreneurs, right? Everyone's like, I want to watch this motivational video so that I will feel motivated and I will go do something. Or I want to listen to this music or watch something that is positive. But then at the end of the day, it all comes down to the mindset, right? What you choose to believe and what you choose to act upon. So what are your thoughts on, positivity or mindset?
Mindset. Positivity, I think it's a drug. It's a drug, and as all drugs do, people get reliant on it. It's like, I used to watch a lot of motivational videos before I go to gym. I used to do a little bit of weightlifting, mostly powerlifting stuff, and I enjoyed that process. But before every session, I had to watch a motivational video with my training partner. Every single time, some kind of motivational video to set me in the right mindset, and that helps. That's a tactic.
But keeps you in the zone for that moment.
Yeah, it sets you in the zone for that moment. But that's all there is.
After that, it's
not a permanent thing. I think to think about a broader level strategy that can, ultimately, the whole idea of staying positive, having a good mindset, is to be happy, right? I mean, that's really what it is, and to be happy in the process of your journey is bliss. I think that's nirvana. Because
you can achieve all the success that you think you have and still not be happy, still not have inner peace.
Exactly, and the struggle is always going to be there, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much success you have.
Exactly.
No matter how high you climb in the ranks of the Prime Minister's office and make $2.28 million a year, just a random number. you always have face struggles. I think it's coming to terms with that struggle and honoring that struggle, that this is my journey, this is my process. That's where you'll find happiness. Not through positivity and trying to psycho yourself into thinking, oh, this piece of shit is delicious, I must eat this piece of shit.
Yep.
It
So
is a piece
just
of shit.
coming to accept that there's always going to be struggles, there's always going to be obstacles, there's always going to be
Yeah.
the unexpected pain that comes.
Yeah,
like the
and-
coronavirus, like it's
Yeah.
unexpected. No one would have imagined. I mean, we did have a talk about it
Yeah,
in December. I
exactly.
was telling Joshua, I think something might come up in 2020 or 2023. But what the hell? Like no one would have thought that it's going to be this big a pandemic, and it's huge. So it's the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like anything can happen. Just do the things that you can do to deal with the situation and move forward. And
Yeah.
let's talk more about your daily routines. Being right now a CEO, a co-founder of a business, running it and
Right.
doing so much. Are you an organized, disciplined individual? What is your daily routine, right? Your ritual?
Not at all, actually.
Yep.
Not at all. I'm not a very organized person. I like routines. I like routines because routines set me free. Then I don't have to
Nice.
think, because when there is a routine of things I need to do, I don't have to actively think about it. And my morning routine is pretty simple. I wake up, the first thing I do is I take a shower. I have to take a shower. It sets me in the right frame of mind. I try to take 10 minutes to meditate or just to breathe. I use an app called Calm. Pretty helpful.
Headspace and Calm. Yeah, I use
It's
these too
and
as
Calm,
well.
yeah. I'm using Calm right now. It's pretty good. And then that's pretty much it. I go downstairs. I drink a cup of coffee, and then I'll just start work. Usually it starts with a meeting. I usually have a meeting in the morning at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. So you start every day pretty much.
Yeah,
Or work at 8.
Typically at 8 a.m.
Okay.
Not super healthy. My co-founder has a much better routine. He wakes up, he takes a walk, he eats breakfast, and then he reads, and then he meditates. He does a different form of meditation, transcendental meditation.
Yep. There's different types, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he starts work at around 9:30, but he wakes up super early.
So for yourself, you start work, then you go for lunch, then back to work. Is there a time you knock off?
Yeah, I always eat lunch at around 12:30.
All right.
That's usually my first meal.
So no breakfast.
No breakfast.
Just coffee.
Yeah, just
Coffee
coffee.
is your breakfast. Nice.
Yeah, black coffee, as black as can be.
And then it kind of kickstarts your day, right?
Yeah,
Puts you in the zone.
it keeps me in the zone. And I'm always on the fight or flight mode in the morning, and keeps me alert. And then I eat my first meal at 12:30, and then continue working. And then I usually stop working around 6, 7.
Okay.
And then sometimes I have evening meetings. And nighttime stuff, I usually keep it light, just replying emails, replying random stuff. That's usually from 9 till 10 or 11. Sometimes my meetings go as late as 11 p.m., 10 p.m. for
Yeah.
like overseas clients, but that's pretty much it. Then repeat.
Let's talk more about the meditation and also breathing, because I'm huge on meditation and a lot of breathing techniques, right? Not just Wim Hof and all these kind of things or biohacking, but what do you think of meditation and how does that interlink with entrepreneurs? Like, do you think entrepreneurs, they should incorporate that into their life, like meditation to calm them down, empty their mind? What are your thoughts on meditation?
I can't really I can't really give a broad advice on this. I'm not an expert. No, I don't think I'm qualified to give any. But I can share my experience on how I felt it helped me. So mindfulness meditation it's a very simple. It's super simple, and you don't really have to sit still. You just have to breathe and be aware of your own breathing, and that's really really hard to do already on its own. To do it for 10 minutes without thinking about anything, and just focus on your own breathing and being present to the moment. I think that's very very powerful, because number one, when you're living in the moment, even for 10 minutes, you are existing. You're actually present, meaning you're not thinking about anything from the past. You're not living in the future.
Yep.
And most of the time, when you're when you're working, you're often worrying about something that's about to come, a meeting,
Anticipating things, right? Constantly being
the
ahead.
next exam,
Yep.
the next midterm. It's a struggle all the time if you're living in that way, because then you're never present to fully experience what it's like to exist. I think that itself is a strong enough reason for anyone to practice.
Yeah. Is there anything else you do?
meditation.
Like, are you into some biohacking things that is good for the body and nutrition? Like some keto diet?
Not
sure.
entirely. I mean, intermittent fast. I eat from 12:30 to, I think I usually stop my meals at 8 latest, and I repeat, and that helps.
Oh, okay. So about 8
Yeah.
hours. You only eat between that
Yeah.
span of 8 hours.
Thereabouts.
Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on like dieting, nutrition, fitness?
My nutrition and fitness right now is shit. I just went to the gym a few days ago, and it just took me out. I mean, my cardio and my cardiovascular health is really bad right now. And I understand that, and it's a conscious decision that there's I think that there are stoves in your, like, if you think about, I was taught this analogy from my mentor. There are a few stoves in your life. I think there was like 4: family, friends, work, and health. Family, friend, work, and health. And maybe for different people, might have different stoves.
Yep.
But at any point in time, I think you can only turn 2. Or if you turn all 4 up at once, you can only have them at like super dim, super low settings. And it's not impactful. Now I have my work at full force. I have family on medium.
Yeah, and everything will be up as a flame.
Everything is gone.
Yeah.
There's no friends, and very, very low health.
So basically balance, like balance is key.
Not exactly. I don't think I'm very good at that. I don't think I have a good balance in what I'm doing. But over the long run, I think I balance things out pretty well. So there are seasons where work is super intense and I'm focused only on work, and everything else is on low. And there are times where family is on high and health is on high and work is on low.
So what do you do for fun? Like, do you do sports? Let's not talk about fitness. Like maybe
Yeah.
something fun. Like, are you the sort that goes for some picnic or music events? Some kind of like poker.
I play poker, yeah.
Poker. Yeah, I can tell.
Poker
And
is, yeah.
anything else besides poker? I mean, poker is still like somehow linked to strategy and all these things that is about business. But anything that is just even weird about the things you do, I don't know, maybe knitting.
I actually don't do much beyond that. I spend usually my Saturdays with my girlfriend.
Nice.
I go out, we just hang out, have a meal, try new places to eat.
Yeah, that's something lovely, right? Sometimes it's the simple things as well that count. It's not like, oh wait, we need to go and do this big because
exactly.
Or fine. It's really about like the simple things.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your relationship. Yeah.
So I think, as much as possible, my Saturdays are kept for either her or my family. My family's in Malaysia, so on the weekend I go back, and that's usually it. I try my best to be present. That means no Slack messages, no emails on Saturdays. Stay away from everything as much as possible. It's so hard.
So that is the day that you have set forth to really spend time with her, give her your time, your energy, and not like be distracted by all these other things that's happening concurrently.
Exactly.
Because you respect her and you want to give her your time.
Yeah, and it's not just that, but it's also for me. I mean, when I'm present in the moment, I can fully enjoy that company, that human connection. And it's very, very hard to do when you have constant disruptions and like on the site, especially when my phone keeps buzzing and ringing. So I have this do not disturb function on my Google Pixel. I just click on it on Friday night. I just turn it on. On Sunday morning, I turn it off, and then everything comes on Sunday morning.
It's so amusing that something so simple could actually have a huge effect, right? It's just like putting your phone on airplane mode when you're trying to spend time with your loved ones. It's not massive. It's like it's a psychological thing. Like the moment it's off, you're like, your mind just goes off, and you want to just spend time with your loved one or with your friends, and you give them that time. But if it's not
about the 1 minute that you take to reply the message. It's that 1 minute of break away from the connection that you could potentially have, and you have to restart the process of what were we talking about? We were saying, you were saying
switch,
and then
mode,
you just
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like but when you're like with someone and then you put it on airplane mode, you wouldn't have to keep asking that, right? Like, oh wait, what were you saying, or what were you talking about? But
Correct, exactly.
But
That's
when
what I'm
it's
saying.
not on airplane mode, or you're not doing something else to keep it off, then you would just be like,
Constantly checking you.
yes, it's a
Bloody
subconscious thing,
messages.
right? You will look here, you look there, and then you look at that person, and then you zone out, and, then
And
come
even
back.
thinking about it, and even just thinking about it takes you away from the present moment, and it's just distracting on its own.
Has there been a
Yes.
time? How long have you been in a relationship with your girlfriend?
3 years plus.
3 years. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
3 years
And
plus.
was there like a time where, there were the downs, miscom?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I'm an
think-
entrepreneur. I know that it's not easy, right? Because you're dedicating like a whole part of your time and life to something that you want to create and build.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially at the start when things are really hectic. I have no team. I was doing everything from A to Z. And it's very difficult to set that expectation that I'm putting my work stove on high now. I'm dimming my relationship with you to low, and I explicitly say that to her, and even though she understands that that's gonna happen, but when it happens,
It doesn't feel.
it still
great,
feels
right?
bad. Yeah, it's like saying, I'm gonna cut you in the face right now. It will hurt. Are you okay with that? You're like, yeah, sure, I know. But when I cut you, it's still gonna bleed. You're still gonna feel the pain.
So what's the secret to the relationship? What's up with my roticity today? Okay. Well, so what is there like a secret? Is there
Secret?
something that you did that somehow worked out?
I think
Was she like?
I'm not the best at this, but some things that we try to do, we try to not go to bed angry. I mean, it's at night when you go to bed, and make sure you text her saying, "I know we have this tension today. Let's call and talk it out before we go to bed." I think that itself is quite powerful already on its own, because it's so easy to suppress things like that.
Do you think relationships are perfect?
I don't think anything is perfect.
So what are your thoughts on, I was just watching something yesterday as well. This doctor on I think it was on Tom Bilyeu's show, something like that. And he was asking about like love, relationship, sex and all this. And the doctor was saying that people need to stop thinking that relationships are like the movies. It's perfect. It's a fairy tale, because it's not. Because you got to
Yeah.
deal with each other's flaws, struggles.
It's
all
the
these
exact
things.
same thing as building a business. You're building a relationship, and in the process of building something, there's always downs and ups and downs. And it's true that those struggles, that you get to know each other better, you get to develop a better experience. You know what to deal with. You know how to deal with things moving forward in the future. It's
And-
exactly the same as
And you become transparent. Like if something is not working, maybe a campaign or maybe the copy, when you are actually transparent and you tell your client, okay, it did not work, but this is what we're going to do, rather than to hide
Yeah.
it, right? You hide it, you try to
Exactly
do something
that, yeah.
else. Then
Correct.
it's not healthy. And it's the
Yeah.
same. Actually, this is really cool. So it's like relationship and the business, right? Because whatever you're going to do in your personal life has somehow a link with the professional life as well.
Always, yeah.
Especially in business, because at the end of the day, it's all
Always.
people. It's always people,
Yeah.
even in business. Without people, there's no business, right?
I think so, and I think if your personal life is a mess, your business life is probably going to be a reflection of that.
Yep.
That's how I
Definitely.
feel. I think, and there's some level of linkages there, because ultimately, as if you're a business owner, or if you're a key lever in the company, if you're not at your 100%, or if you're not at your A game, you are definitely almost 100% going to make decisions that are not at your best. And that's going to trickle down to everything else, because people are going to take your decisions as into actions, and then actions are going to translate into other actions, and it's going to amplify on its own. So you have to be at your best, and you have to show up with your best as much as possible.
So share with me more about the agency, Kronos. Did I pronounce it correctly, or is it Kronos? Kronos.
Yeah.
Kronos Agency. So what exactly do you guys do? Where are you guys at? What are the achievements? What are you looking to do in this brand new decade? What is your vision?
Yeah, sure.
Give it to me, my man. I want to know everything.
So we work with e-commerce, direct-to-consumer brands. We build email marketing systems and strategies and campaigns on an end-to-end basis, with our clients spending no more than 4 hours a month on this marketing channel. And the result of that is a 23% average revenue lift on the business. So it's a very simple value proposition, very straightforward, and the reason is that a lot of e-commerce brands don't have the time, don't have the resources, or the know-how to do it themselves. And it's really common. It's also a very profitable channel for e-commerce brands that people are kind of just leaving aside because it's so hard and they don't have the time to do it. So we come in and we say, pay us, we'll do it for you, and you're going to make an insane ROI. So it's a very easy sell. And for that reason alone, we have been focused on just that one thing for the past 2.5 years. So thus far, we've served over 150 e-commerce brands all around the world. Right now, about 70% of our clientele is outside of Asia, mostly in US, Australia, Canada, some in Europe, thereabouts, yeah.
What are your thoughts on the e-commerce industry? Like, it's just constantly growing, right? And
yeah, it's a good space to be in right now. A lot of people are coming in just this year, and if you look at stock prices like Shopify, it's growing, and like companies in the e-commerce industry,
always.
It's people are just raising money here and there, and there's a lot of money going around in the space. And even old marketing channels like email marketing is one of the oldest digital marketing channels available.
Before there was social media or even SEO, it
is probably the oldest.
Direct mail, oldest.
And because of the boom in e-commerce, a lot of software companies in email marketing and email marketing agencies and businesses are exploding. They're just growing like crazy. Klaviyo, one of the email marketing softwares out there, we are a great partner with us. They recently raised a fund, a round of 150 million.
Wow.
Just to drive their growth. And they're a profitable company, mind you. They're a profitable company. They raised funds just to enter new markets and grow. ActiveCampaign is another one. ActiveCampaign is another email marketing software. They raised 100 million to grow as well. So if you think about this, email marketing is not dead, firstly.
I feel like there are a lot of people, even the older ones, not just the younger ones, right? Because maybe the younger ones, they are using more social media. They're not familiar with even emails or MSN when we were using it. But people tend to think that, oh, really? Email marketing still works? Like it exists? Why are people, do they open up the emails?
Yeah,
what
exactly.
is the open rate? Like they think that it's no longer relevant to their market in the industry.
I mean, if you're doing it the old way, when email first came out, like in 1980s, thereabouts, then you're probably doing it wrong, and you're probably hitting the spam inbox all the time, and it's probably not going to be not going to be effective for your business. But if you do it in a more mindful manner, in a more relevant fashion, that is based on permissions instead of direct cold emailing, it's going to be impactful. It's still very, 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 very lucrative, and on average, our clients see an average improvement of 20 to 30%.
Because there's still buyer journey there, right? In the email.
Yeah, exactly.
There will always be the buyer's journey, the funnels. Because funnels are everywhere.
Yeah, the funnels, the experience that a customer goes through. And if you're able to facilitate that experience with a brand, with emails, you'll be profitable. You'll be making money. Because ultimately, what email marketing is doing today is one-on-one interactions and relationship building.
Personal.
At scale. So imagine walking to a retail store and you're going to a retail associate saying, you know what, I have this body shape and I want to look this way. I like yellow. Yellow's my favorite color. Can you recommend a blouse to me? That whole process is done with email marketing, but at scale. Instead of going on one-to-one, you're doing it on a one-to-many basis, but with the one-to-one.
So you're reaching many people that might have like their same wants, same desires as well, right? And if they see the value, that's why the ad copy, the creative is so important as well, because they're on the buyer's journey, and that will make them actually want to have more desire, more urgency to go and purchase the products that they want.
Well, yeah. So there's a lot more levers and things that you can do with emails as compared to a lot of the other channels out there.
So email marketing is still relevant and powerful.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is your vision for the agency?
So as far as vision goes, we have set for ourselves a 3-year goal that was set early last year. It's called Vivid Vision 2022. Nice. It's an idea from Cameron Harold from the book Double Double. Very good book and very good idea as well. It's pretty much like a mission statement for
Nice. I love
the
mission
company.
statement. Yeah.
it's like it's a 3-year time frame, so it's not long, so long that you can't foresee what's going to happen, but it's short enough. It's not so short that it's just not meaningful. So it's kind of in the middle, 3 years. So within 3 years, we want to grow to 2 mil a month in recurring revenue, and we want to be in the States with a physical presence in the States because a bunch of our clients are there. We don't have this physical presence there. We are all in Asia.
Yeah, I feel you, man. That's where I want to be as well. Like, have some presence there, right?
Yeah, we have a couple of employees there, but team members there, but it's not in North America. But like, I think we can further expand on that and really grow the market for ourselves. So it's kind of like sort of like a shorter term goal for us.
Nice. I'm pretty sure you would accomplish that, man. Like, I mean, you have an office in Singapore. You have one in Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia.
Yeah, and who knows? You might have a third one. Like, how's the coronavirus? Is it affecting you guys as well?
A
little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because it definitely affects the
Shipping for like the e-com brands.
supply chains for e-commerce brands that we serve. So if their business goes down, we are inherently affected as well.
Yeah,
And some deals that were supposed to come through in
it happens.
in
Right?
February is pushed to March, and March is pushed to April. So it just kind of slows things down a little bit, and our projections have to be.
What are you telling yourself, like,
backwards.
to help yourself? I mean, it's frustrating, it's upsetting, because I mean, even for me, right? We all have big dreams and goals, and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a brand new year, it's a brand new decade, and then bam, just like that, there's this coronavirus that's affecting so many people, businesses.
It's I realized that in the past, maybe 2 years ago, I would have responded in a way where I'll feel kind of helpless, like shit, this is happening to me.
Why me? Why me?
Why
Why
me?
now? Why now?
Why now, when I have such a big goal and everything's going well, and now it's suddenly not going well. But I've come to realize that I've kind of trained myself to immediately not respond that way. So my instant reaction is, okay, so this is happening. What can we do? So because that leaves a lot more opportunities that you can take on, because this is not happening now. So it's not like this is not happening, so this my plans are all gone, all bust. Doesn't make sense.
Because there's always opportunities
There are
there.
always
right? You just need to
opportunities.
tap into it.
Yeah,
and
it's just a matter of where you apply your effort to.
so
And
ra-
it-
yeah.
yeah, it's really the idea of having an abundance mindset.
Yes.
Having an abundant mindset, I think there's enough for everyone in the world to go
Because
around.
there's always going to be some, like we already talked about it, there's always going to be challengers, and it's easy to become fearful, anxious. But rather than to focus on what's happening now, the problems and challenges, it's better to use that setbacks, or whether it's failures or not failures, or just, just the frustration to fuel the growth in other areas, like maybe launching something new, or creating something, or even doing the things that you couldn't do when you were super busy, right? Like it could even be like taking a stroll in the park or going to the gym, things that you couldn't do. Because there's always something. It's not everything has to be about business.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do, and we talked about the little stove analogy.
Yeah, I love that little. So we're probably gonna put some like
Why not?
some
Do an
some
imagery.
flames there. Yeah, some
Imagery.
of that.
Now that the work stove is on medium or on low by circumstance, that means you have additional gas. You have more gas that you can put into family, friends, or health that you've been sacrificing on. So there's always opportunities to grow and develop.
Right. And this all comes back to not feeling entitled, right? And always not just thinking that the worst is always happening to you.
Yeah,
Why is
no
it
one
not?
cares. No one cares about you.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
the-
truth.
that's
That's
the
the hard
truth.
truth. That's the hard truth.
yeah.
Like you can achieve everything that you want, but you will still have haters. You will still have the naysayers. You will still have people saying, okay, like nothing really.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get there.
and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Like
That's okay.
Which is why there's the phrase, right? Do you like be yourself and create your own
You.
things, and don't do it for. Because if you think that you're gonna create all these and build all these things and you're gonna get all the attention that you want, you might not get it. And then when you don't get it, you're gonna feel like shit. You will feel like, oh, why is it me again? Why is
Yeah.
it that that person built all those things and they get all those clout, but I'm not getting it? You know?
Yeah.
Just be present and be authentic. Yeah, just be.
Stay true to your purpose and your why, whatever it may be. I think that people are kind of a lot of people talk about having a purpose when you start your business, having a vision when you start your business, and that sets a lot of people back because then I don't have a why, I don't have a purpose.
So let me go figure that
Whatever.
out first and take my time.
Yeah,
and then
take my time.
once I find my why, my strong sense of why,
Do you
my
want
circle.
to know what my why was when I first started
Yeah,
the
sure.
agency?
I want to know
My why was very noble. I wanted to make
as much money as
as much
possible.
money as possible.
Everyone, bro.
I
There
just
was,
want-
yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make money. That was my why. So noble.
Because sometimes you might not have like that strong sense of purpose. The goal is just to make more money, have more clients, book with more brands. But then along the journey, you start realizing, oh wait, actually,
Exactly. That was.
yeah.
I was just about to say that. And your vision and your purpose develops over time. It's gonna change.
and it will
10 years-
constantly change, evolve. You know,
Exactly. 10 years ago, if you asked me what my purpose was to get into VJ.
and then you did.
Get into raffles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing in my life at that point in time. And it will change.
The worldview, right?
Yeah,
like
your
how you
worldview
perceive the
evolves.
world is constantly changing.
And
changing.
circumstance is gonna affect the way that you see things. As you find new
course.
truths,
Yeah.
you're gonna change your mind, and that's okay. So don't get too caught up with, I don't have a good enough why to get started. Just get started. You figure shit out along the way.
It's like entrepreneurs doing so much for the logos, right? They're like,
Yeah.
okay, wait, hang on. I want to make the logo really attractive, or like put in this
Don't
colors,
worry about that,
colors,
yeah.
and all that.
Exactly.
And then I'll go get clients.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our fun questions. We used to, I think by now everyone knows what these questions are and where it originated from. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. They are all a little bit modified. You can answer one-word answers. Pretty
Okay.
straightforward. It's going to be fun.
Quick fire ones.
Yep, quick fire ones.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
Favorite word.
Mm.
Whoa, that's hard. Cool.
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 Cool. Nice. What's your least favorite word? Least favorite, like you don't like this word.
Oh no, wait. Let me retract. My favorite word is why. I like why.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say cool. So your favorite word is why.
Yeah, favorite word would be why.
Okay.
It's fun.
Least favorite?
Least favorite word, because.
It sounds like a continuation. Okay.
Yeah.
Least favorite
Hate
word
that.
because.
Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Favorite curse word?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's so versatile. Why not?
What is your favorite curse word again?
Fuck.
Guys, finally someone did it. Someone actually said it on the podcast. We gotta take note of this. Okay,
What are you
I'm
talking
not
about?
sure.
I did. In the
mean-
middle of the conversation, I kind of.
I mean, yeah, but every time, exactly, like all the guests on the podcast, no matter which industry they came from, they would use a little bit of swearing. But when it comes to this question, for
Oh,
some reason,
cheesecake.
they would just be like, no, I don't
don't
have
swear.
a curse word. I don't swear.
I'm kidding, Azzy. I don't swear.
Yeah, I know you don't swear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, what is your idea of happiness?
What's my idea of happiness? Struggles,
Nice.
honorable struggles, better struggles.
Okay. What is
Yeah.
your idea? Your thoughts on success. What is success to you?
Success.
Mm.
Success is being happy with who I am and where I'm at. Sitting on a very nice sofa, looking at my floor-to-ceiling window home.
Sweet.
That's what success is.
Yeah, fair enough. Really, that's it.
On the Singapore skyline.
It sounds like peace, right? Just having inner peace.
Yeah, and that very big home. I like nice houses.
Sure.
That's success.
What profession other than the current one that you have would you like to explore if given the chance?
Oh, being a professional poker player.
Professional, like what? Dan,
Yeah.
we got like the Asian Dan Bilzerian future one here,
Yeah, why not? and the thing is,
and then you
it's-
start.
it's-
Yeah,
the idea of being a poker player is so stressful because your income and your livelihood is tied to the outcome of your craft.
Mm.
But if it's not, which is what I hope to achieve, be successful outside of poker and then come into poker just purely because I enjoy that process, that struggle, that's fun.
So in a couple
That's
of
fun to
years,
me.
if I find out that you're no longer in email, you're no longer running the email marketing agency, then you're probably a poker player or doing something like what Dan is doing, like Ignite, having all the supermodels like working for you. You have like a huge mansion. Now you're at,
I
in
don't
an
like the
office.
attention. I don't actually. I
So
don't
you're a low-key
enjoy.
poker player.
Yeah, I don't enjoy the attention.
So basically, you have all of this, but it's not on social media. Only I and a few close friends, or maybe like
I don't
your
mind it
mentors
being
and-
on social media. I think I'm just saying I don't enjoy that flashy,
right.
big scale kind of parties.
Those flashy.
Yeah.
Interesting. What profession would you never try? No matter what, even if someone pays you.
Oh, would I never try?
Yeah.
Being an auditor.
Bro, I
Yeah,
feel you, man. I
That
mean,
sounds
accounts itself
horrible.
is.
I have so many auditor friends that just hate their lives. I haven't met a single auditor who says I feel so fulfilled with my career. I think
yeah,
I'm
and
going
it's the same.
somewhere with
It's the same for accountants. Like they get good amount of money for what they do, and it's not easy what they do, right? It's complex.
It's-
But I've never heard an accountant saying, "I love my job. I have so much of passion in what I do."
I respect accountants
Me too.
very much
My accountant as
because
well.
it's incredibly difficult. I cannot imagine myself doing that. That's the only thing.
Just way too many numbers, and like that's why they call it accounting, right? You gotta be you're
You're
accountable for
accountable.
yeah,
for
you're
a lot of
accountable for
things.
everything that's happening,
Yeah.
and then after that, there's the auditor as well.
Yeah, I haven't met a single auditor or accountant who loves their job.
So that is something you never want to try. Have you tried
Yeah.
it though? Like I remember in school,
Yeah, I was. I
there's
was.
like
I was
POA.
my first internship was with an accounting firm,
Right.
SME accounting firm.
Uh-huh.
It was very miserable. Very
All
miserable.
right, just stick to entrepreneur and poker playing then. Okay, last one. If heaven exists and when you walk through the pearly gates of heaven, what would you like God to tell you?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Nice. He's happy that you made it.
And a fist bump. Yeah.
You're not in the stove in hell.
Yeah.
you
Hopefully
made
not
it to
stove in
heaven.
hell. Or,
Alright.
or I'll just die with no reason and things just end. No heaven, no hell. That's fine too.
All right, bro. I'll see you in heaven for sure, and I'll see you guys there as well. All right,
Alright.
thanks everyone. Thank you, Joshua, for being here.
course.
Appreciate your presence here today. I'll see you
that.
hopefully in US and in the next podcast, your entire team as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Do share it with everyone. And if you haven't subscribed, I'm watching you. You've been coming to the channel all the time. You've been watching everything, but you haven't hit the subscribe. So all you have to do, create an account and hit the subscribe. Share it to your family, your friends. If you know people in JC and university, entrepreneurs, share it with everyone. Spread the love. This is the only way we can get our content out to reach more people, especially in Singapore. Once again, I'm Esmond, and thank you for watching the Singapore Forward podcast. And thank you, Joshua Chin, my man, for being on the show. All right, peace out. Love you guys.